It's me, Elay, pronounced like LA like the city. I'm not from there, but I'm breezy. Today, I'm going to talk further about the basketball player named Ja Morant, capital J as in jack-o'-lantern, A as in alphabet, Morant, but you'll see the correct spelling on the screen as you listen and slash watch this video. Thanks for coming around. Thanks for all the diggery-doos that you have to say before, during, and after the video, such as thank you for coming to the platform. You could have been anywhere else but here. Thank you for pressing the like, share, and subscribe button. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for sharing. Well, I actually mean all that, and I'm quite sure just because everybody and their mama say it, I think primarily all of the people, even the egotistical ones, do appreciate you guys' time, because once again, if it wasn't for you guys, our numbers, we wouldn't be seen anyways, you know. So hey, I am thankful for that. So let's get into it a little bit. I want to see what's going on with this guy, because I was talking to my husband about it when he came home from work, because we had it on I gotta stop saying because so much. I'm saying that too much lately. We had ESPN on when he arrived home, and of course this guy Ja Morant was in the feed, and I was like, I look forward to hearing what Stephen A has to say, because it is confirmed that Ja Morant's been in trouble before, and I thought so. It seems like to me about last year, maybe this time last year, he was into some trouble. And I was telling my husband when I had ESP on at that time, when the news broke when Ja Morant was in trouble prior to this, I was having a hard time deciphering whether or not ESPN was covering a rap story or a basketball story, or if the two were intertwined, because even the year before that, okay, so it's 2023 now. So 2022, 2021, late 2021 to early 2022, it seemed like there was a kind of a slow and annoying uptick of more of the younger basketball players, you know, doing a dual career. But the dual career was not like getting that college education, though some of them already had or were already currently pursuing. They were going into the R&B rap field, being R&B artists slash basketball stars. So after listening to that prior to all of this, what I'm talking about, the trend of seeing like the newer generation of basketball players, so they're like in their 20s now, you know, once again pursuing music careers slash being NBA stars, which would be cool because you have double notoriety. Hey, go for it. So in my mind, slightly following ESPN in the background while I'm, you know, fussing around the house. Not that kind of fussing around the house, but fussing around the house, kind of, you know, sprucing it up, cleaning, washing the curtains, or all that kind of fussing around the house. I will have ESPN in the background. And speed up to 2022, you know, Ja Morant, I think, got in trouble. And that was the incident with him having a GUN at a nightclub, I believe, and showing all of that stuff on Instagram. I'm like, okay, so is he trying to be a rapper? Is he in one of these circles where he's not only a NBA star? No, is he one of those people who's an NBA star slash music person? And so it was kind of hard to separate the two based on trend per last year. And it was kind of hard to separate the two, because I just easily put him in the box of, oh, he's one of those people who wants to pursue not only music but basketball. He's got a couple of dreams inside of him, not just one thing he wants to do. Cool. What better time than to do everything now while you have finances to fuel all your other things to get those going in the background. But the GUN part made me assume that, okay, maybe he wants to be a rapper in the music and not an R&B artist like the previous player. And I will, after I finish talking about the things off the top of my head that I put together to make me come to my conclusion about the whole Ja Morant situation. After I finish that, I will go into my notes to see in more specifics of what it is that's going on. So now we're back at Ja Morant, and I'm thinking, okay, he's a musician slash basketball person by way of him being a music artist in the realm of rap, gang, gang, gang type music, and an NBA player. That's why he's getting into so much trouble. If that's the case, you'll have to choose, because the type of music, which to me seems like gang, 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 based off my assumptions, is going to get you in trouble very fast. And that's what's happening. So here we are today, May, 16th, 2022. And we are talking about Ja Morant. Hang on, guys. I want to make sure this is still recording. Yep, 6 minutes in. Yay, it's still recording. In the About section of Ja Morant, by way of, I need to know who these people are. Wikipedia, Demetrius Jamel Ja Morant is an American professional basketball player for the Memphis Grizzlies of the National Basketball Association, known as the NBA. He played college basketball for the Murray State Racers, where he was a census first team All-American as a sophomore in 2019. Thanks, Wikipedia. He was born August 10th, 1999, age 23 years currently. Dalzell, South Carolina. Current team is Memphis Grizzlies. He's number 12 on his jersey number, and he is a point guard. He's got children. Kari Jadalyn Morant, and his parents' name is T. Morant and Jamie Morant. NBA Draft 2019 Memphis Grizzlies, round 1, pick 2, height 6'3", wingspan like he's a bird. Wingspan 6'7". That's funny. Okay, so when you do the wingspan, his arms are longer than the height. That's funny. You know, I thought you could grow into your arms. His arms are longer than his height. Why is that? Why are some people's arms longer than their bodies? Do we really need arms that long? Like, there's short people who have long arms. Do that really benefit them? Because if you're already challenged and can't reach stuff, what is the use of having additionally long arms? Because you're still gonna have to reach or get a ladder, i.e. myself. I'm kind of short, but my arms seem long according to me. I'm not sure if they're longer than, I don't know if my wingspan is longer than my height. I don't recall having taken the time to measure, but my arms are, to me, very long. But it could be because they're very skinny, so you know, it probably just makes me look freakishly weird by way of my arms just being like Michael Jackson skinny. So that might have something to do with it too. I'll ask my husband. He's honest with me. Like, dude, like, are my arms, is my wingspan winging higher than my height? Because in all actuality, having a longer wingspan higher than my height doesn't really serve a purpose, because I still need chairs to get stuff off the closet and off the cupboards in the kitchen. So I don't know about all that. Back to the topic at hand. I want to read a little bit more about the story. I need a sheet of paper so I can make sure I cite my sources too when I put them down in the detail box. So Wikipedia was first. There's questions here in the People also ask, and it says, why is Ja suspended for having a G win? Can NBA players own G wins? Was Ja Morant suspended again? Question mark. How many dunks per game does Ja Morant average? I'm going to go back to ESPN and start with the article that we cited yesterday. According to ESPN, article written by Tim MacMahon, ESPN Staff Writer, on May 14th, 2023 at 11:43 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. It says that Memphis Grizzlies has suspended Ja Morant from all team activities after a video showing the star guard holding a GU win began circulating on social media Saturday night. You guys, didn't he do this before? Now, unfortunately, sometimes when these circumstances come, it's happened one too many times and everybody do start looking alike. Sorry, but I do think this guy's done this before. Grizzlies announced the suspension, which is pending a league review, in the statement Sunday. Man, that's a good starting point. I need to keep track of the time as well. Okay, I'm waiting for the article to open up. This article once again is written by Tim MacMahon, so it's Tim spacebar MAHMAHON, Tim MacMahon, ESPN Staff Writer, May 14th, 2023, 11:43 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And what I'll do is probably put my 1-minute clip into this part of the video so I don't have to read it all over, because I want to read the beginning. Okay, down here in this article, you guys, I wonder if I could take a screenshot of this. I might, but I'll do it afterwards. Further down in the article, it says right here, let me find it. In the wake of Grizzlies' first-round playoff elimination, Morant said he needed to be more disciplined. Here's the quotation. Quote, begin. I just got to be better with my decision-making, he said after a 125-85 loss to the Lakers on April 28th. Begin quote. That's pretty much it. Off-the-court issues affected us as an organization pretty much. Just need more discipline. End quote. Morant's 5-year, $194 million max contract is set to begin this coming season. It could have escalated to a supermax if he had made an All-NBA this season. He was not voted onto that team, which cost him about $39 million in future earnings. He has endorsement deals with Nike and Powerade. And though the sports drink company pulled an ad featuring Morant almost immediately after the March video emerged, a Powerade spokesman told ESPN's Michael Steele on Monday, at this time, we do not have any job-related content running, end quote. Morant averaged a 26.2 points this season and helped Memphis secure the number 2 seed in the West Conference playoffs. Information from the Associated Press was used in this report. Thank you, the Associated Press, for providing information that was viable for this article. This article, once again, is written by ESPN Tim MacMahon, ESPN Staff Writer. So in the article, it mentions something that he did in March. However, in the article, it doesn't say which year. Maybe if I can scroll down, they can piggyback off of what he did. You know what I'll do? I'll open up a new tab. What did Ja Morant crime list? Ja Morant crime list. About the difference, Amber Heard. Just teasing. Oh man. Okay, we're at 14 minutes in, and I need to make sure this puppy is still recording. Ja Morant crime list. Ja Morant allegations aggression off the court explained. I'm gonna go here. Waiting for the article to load. Right now I am at a website called SBNATION. S as in soda pop, B as in bug nation.com, and the article is called Ja Morant allegations of aggression off the court. Okay, I wrote the title down so just in case I lose the site, I can have some type of breadcrumbs to go back to help me pick up where I left off. So I'm going to start with this article here. Once again, it's from SBNation.com, and it says in the title, Ja Morant's allegations of aggression off the court explained. From a mall parking lot altercation to a fight with a teenager during a pickup game, these are the allegations Ja Morant is facing. This article is typed/written by Ricky O'Donnell, March 1st, 2023, 3:47 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Oh my goodness, you guys, I thought this was way last year. If this is the same thing I was referring to prior by just referencing things that he's done off of the top of the dome, and by in reference to him being in the club and showing G wins on Instagram, it felt like last year. It was just this year. I'm going to scroll down and see what's up. Ja Morant has the Memphis Grizzlies positioned as the NBA championship contender this season, but allegations of violence and aggression off the court are starting to put his success under a harsher light. A new story in the Washington Post detailed multiple incidents where police investigated Morant for threatening behavior but ultimately declined to charge him. There we go. Multiple offenses with the po-pos. The story comes a month after the NBA investigated Morant for an incident following the game against the Indiana Pacers. Morant's father and close friends sitting courtside got into a shouting match with members of the Pacers at the end of the Grizzlies' victory. And the shouting match continued to escalate after the game, as the Pacers' traveling party was leaving. Quote, someone in a slow-moving SUV, which Morant was riding in, trained a red laser light on them. According to The Athletic, the NBA eventually decided there wasn't enough to discipline Morant. Okay, I need to read that again. Let me find out here. As the Pacers' traveling party was leaving, began, quote, someone in a slow-moving SUV, which Morant was riding in, trained a red laser on them, end quote. According to The Athletic, the NBA eventually decided there wasn't enough to discipline Morant. A viral moment happened earlier this year when Morant's father and other Grizzlies got into a courtside shouting match with Fox Sports commentator Shannon Sharpe. I was wondering why. At the time of this occurrence, Shannon Sharpe was kind of like the go-to guy in reference to this Ja Morant guy. I thought maybe Shannon Sharpe did like a intense interview with him or something. But this is due to cause, by reading this article, is because Ja Morant's dad got into a shouting match with Shannon Sharpe, which rightfully so would give Shannon Sharpe the additional screen time to talk about Ja Morant in general and everything that happened around the whole situation. That's crazy. I'm going to continue the article. Sharpe eventually apologized in what was one of the most bizarre scenes of the NBA season. Why would Shannon Sharpe apologize? Because it clearly says in this article that Ja's daddy started it. I'm going to read this paragraph again to make sure I'm comprehending correctly. A viral moment happened earlier this year when Morant's father and other Grizzlies got into a courtside shouting match with Fox Sports commentator Shannon Sharpe. Sharpe eventually apologized in what was one of the most bizarre scenes of the NBA season. I can't say from reading that article, I'm sick and tired of the victim having to be the first person to apologize. If you're the victim, who did not cause the situation to flourish in the first place, why the F are you apologizing? I hope I've gathered everything correctly. I'm going to continue down this article. The Washington Post published new allegations against Morant dating back to last summer. Okay, last summer, meaning last year, on Wednesday. Here's an overview of what they found. Morant allegedly hit teenager 12 or 13 times after pickup game in self-defense. 12 or 13 times was in quotations. Over the summer, Morant invited a talented local high school basketball player to a pickup game at his house. The player was not identified by the newspaper because he was a minor at 17 years old. The teenager was guarding Morant in the game, and at one point Morant and the high schooler allegedly exchanged hard passes to check the ball to each other. The ball reportedly hit Morant in the face, and then he punched the high schooler in the face. Pause. I've been hit in the face and in the head with balls before, and I can tell you every single effing time that happened in middle school, that SHIT was on purpose. So based upon experience, I would want to tear up somebody too. But based upon Ja Morant having more to lose, it's not worth it. Me, I just didn't know how to defend myself at that time. So I just took a lot of things when I look back that was I was getting kind of bullied sometimes or taunted. I just didn't know how to defend myself, so I just took it. But if I could go back in time, Okay, back to the article. The teenager was guarding Morant in the game, and at one point, Morant and the high schooler allegedly exchanged hard passes to check the ball into each other. The ball reportedly hit Morant in the face, and he turned, and then he punched the high schooler in the face. The high schooler continued to get hit by Morant and his friend until the scrimmage was over. Morant then allegedly had a GUN in his waistband. How the F are you playing basketball with the GUN in your waist anyways? Don't you supposed to have boys on the sideline to be ready at all times while you carefreely have fun on the court so you can focus on the game and not accidentally dunking and powing yourself or someone else? This is so stupid. Back to the article. Morant then allegedly had his GUN in his waistband as the teenager drove away. Okay. Here are the details from the Washington Post. Once again, shout out SBNATION.com for this terrific article to verify and validate everything that I thought I heard throughout the course of a couple years in reference to this guy, Ja Morant. Here's a paragraph right here, and it's in quotations. Ja hit me like 13 times, the boy said, adding that the friend struck him 4 or 5 times. When police asked the boy how hard the punches landed, he compared them to an MMA bout. After the men were pulled off him, the boy told police Morant went inside and the boy got up to leave. As the boy was going to his car, he said Morant, and I quote, came outside with his GUN, end quote. It was tucked into his pants, the boy said, and though he didn't pull it out, the boy said he saw Morant put his hand on it. Ja Morant invites minor child to Ja Morant's house to play a game of pickup basketball. Cool, fun, yay, la la la. Teenager hits Ja Morant in the face with the basketball. Don't know if it was intentional or unintentional. Nonetheless, Ja Morant handled the situation all wrong. Right there, because there's the difference between the adolescents, the boy and the man, right? The professional and non-professional. It's quick how lines change I'm going to say this. When I was in high school, when I was in school in general, all I knew was basically is how to be a baby. Being told what to do, having a schedule, living my life by this schedule. You know, school, wake up, home. You know? And then all of a sudden you mean to tell me when I turn 18, all that is washed away. I'm officially grown now. What if I was dating somebody and I was 17 and the kid was, and what if I was 17 and my boyfriend was 16? And then I wake up one day not being told the deep complexities of being 18 and all that entails, as far as I can be charged with stuff. My whole world changes. So that's when grace and mercy comes, because you're in high school, you're in the mind of a child, even though you think you're grown. Stuff don't hit you hard like that because you've been doing this mode for 17 years. So the mindset to be like, oh, you're grown now, I can go to jail, I'm breaking the law because now that I officially turned 18 and my boyfriend is 17, I'm, all those things. So you have to be taught all this. So there is a window of grace from transitioning from the child schedule, the child mindset, because you've been trained for 17 years to think like a child, act like a child, follow a schedule, follow the adults do as I say, not as I do. And you're still going to be prone to immature ways if you're not taught. Most of us are not. So I understand when it came to hands being placed upon the minor, but to beef it up to go back into the house to pull out a steely, that's where my mind is circling around. I understand laying hands on someone hit you, hit them back, but to escalate it all the way from old school fighting and self-defending yourself and raising your voice to going back in the house to go get something, that's where I'm drawing a circle at. Because I even knew better than that, even if I had access to firepower, but I didn't. But I would have known that would have been too far. But had I been taught to execute the person in the way of standing up for myself and using my fist and my voice, that would have been a whole nother thing. So for him to go back and get a weapon and fire off after it seemed like it would have been squared away, that would have been enough, because it says in the article the boy was going to his car. He took his licks like a man and he was leaving. That's where it should have ended. That don't make sense. I'm going to continue with this article. Morant claimed he was acting in self-defense. The police did not charge Morant with anything in the incident. Morant and Cole get into an altercation at mall parking lot. Over the summer, Morant's mother allegedly got into an argument with the store employee at a local mall and called Morant to the scene. Morant showed up with 9 other people. Here's how the Washington Post reported what went down. Confronted by the director of mall security, Morant and his friends refused the security guard's demands to leave the mall parking lot. Police arrived and a verbal confrontation, escalated, the reports say, until someone in the group allegedly pushed the security director in the head. Quote, as the group was leaving the premises, Ja Mornat said, "Let me find out what time he gets off." Police wrote in the report. The parties left the scene and no arrests were made. That's 2. Strike 2. Ja Mornat appears to flash a GUN while partying after a Nuggets game. This is when I come in to realize, okay, this dude's in trouble. Days after the Washington Post report was published, Morant took a video of himself where he flashed a GUN in the club following a loss to the Denver Nuggets on Friday night. The 23-year-old started trending on social media again with this video, and again ignited a conversation about his choice and his future. Here's the video, to which I will not play, but it shows reference to Clutch Points at Clutch Points apps. You can follow them on Twitter. Grizzlies star Ja Morant was allegedly seen showing off a GUN on his IG Live this morning. Praise the Lord, there's a timestamp. 11:10 a.m. March 4th on 2023. Once again, the timestamp of reference in reference to Ja Morant flashing a GUN at a nightclub on Instagram. Was it Instagram? On Instagram Live was at 10:11 a.m. March 4th, 2023. Ja Morant has never been charged by police. Once again, the article states in big, bold, capital letters, Ja Morant has never been charged by police. Ja Morant has never been charged by police. Morant and the Grizzlies talk a lot of trash on the court. That aggression between the lines has become a key part of the team's persona, and to many it has helped fuel their success. Morant hasn't been arrested or charged by police for any of these incidents, but there is now a pattern of reports of aggressive behavior off the court following him around. Once again, Morant hasn't been arrested or charged by police for any of these incidents. But there's now a pattern of reports of aggressive behavior off the court following him around. The brassness of Morant and the Grizzlies can work to their benefit, but this needs to stay on the court only. I'm disappointed. I lost count. Well, that's 3 strikes right there, and then the 4th one, I believe, is the one we're talking about right now. That's got him back in the headlines again. They've given him so many chances I don't want to hear. If I ever had that many chances in life, my husband and I, far as in reference to getting along with our family better, our family would be more close. I can say that. My husband and I share a fine line when it comes to we share the same story of how both of our parents didn't treat us worth a dang and gave too many chances to our other siblings more than us, and expected so much from us. So if we breathed wrong, we were getting smacked around or disciplined harshly for no reason. So to hear and see that this guy is always getting all these chances and still getting rewarded, I don't want to hear it, because my husband and I grew up, we couldn't do anything wrong, and it really stifled the way we grew up into adulthood. I can't say that. So to hear this guy get so many chances and the stuff he did was horrible, I'm like, I don't want to hear it. There's no mercy for you. No mercy, no mercy. Only thing I pray is that you don't lose your life. I hope no one involved around you, affiliated with you, in proximity of you I pray that none of those people get hurt because of you, Ja Morant. That's about it. Anything else, this gloves off. I don't want him or anybody in his proximity to be hurt.